Students, now we discuss about the topic corporate governance presented by Mrs. A. Muttumari, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivahasi. Meaning of corporate governance. The term corporate governance is not precisely defined anywhere. Some of the definitions are however as follows, that is, it is broad and somewhat vague term, a range of corporate accountability mechanisms designed to meet the aims of the stakeholders. It is a process of direction, supervision, and accountability of corporations. It relates to the laws, procedures, practices, and implicit rules that determine a company's ability to take improved managerial decisions. The definition of corporate governance. Corporate governance can be defined as a set of systems and processes which ensures that a company is managed to the best interest of all the stakeholders. The set systems that helps the task of corporate governance should be included certain structural and organizational aspects. The process that helps corporate governance will impress how things are done within such structure and organizational systems. Next, we see about the need and the significance of corporate governance. First point is changing ownership structure. The profile of corporate ownership has changed significantly. Public financial institutions are the single largest shareholders in the most large corporations in the private sector. Institutional shareholders have reserved the trend of scattered shareholders. Institutional investors and mutual funds have now become single or joint direct challengers to management of companies. Due to threat of holistic takeover, bids and the growth of institutional investors, the big business houses started talking about corporate governance. Unlike the West, large companies in India have a complex ownership pattern involving promoters, financial institutions, banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, foreign institutional investors, and small private investors. Therefore, copying into the corporate governance practices of the West will not be appropriate in India. Next one is social responsibility. A company is a legal entity without physical existence. Therefore, it is managed by board of directors, which is accountable and responsible to shareholders who provide the funds. Directors are also required to act in the interest of customers, lenders, suppliers, and the local community of enhancing shareholders' value. An effective system of corporate governance provides a mechanism for regulating the duties of directors so that they act in the best interest of the companies. Control systems are established either through law or self regulations. Next point is scams. In recent years, several corporate frauds have shaken the public confidence. For example, Harshad Mehta scandal, CRP capital case, and other frauds have caused a tremendous loss to the small investor. So most of the 60% of listed companies are not operating. And large companies have been transferred to Z Group to the Bombay Stock Exchange. Next one is corporate oligarchy. Shareholders' activism and shareholders' democracy continue to remain myths in India. That is, postal ballot system also absent. So proxies are not attended the meeting also, not speaking the meeting also. Shareholders association, investors, education and awarenesses have not emerged as a countervailing force. So next one is globalization. Indian company went to overseas market to capital corporate governance, become a business world. Sinking capital market in India from 1994 through 1998 and the desire of more and more companies in India to get listed on international stock exchanges also prompted them to pay attention to corporate governance. So we must, however, remember that corporate governance is not a strict prop-up to Sensex and or not bring capital, foreign capital resource. It implies management of the corporate sector within the constraints of fair play, responsibility, and consciousness with regard to all stakeholders. In order to strengthen investors' loyalty, the company need to adopt better management practices Studies on corporate governance both in India and abroad show the capital market appreciates and reward well-managed companies. Then corporate governance it implies interrelated competitiveness and corporate governance. Corporate governance will shape the future development of industries. It has to weigh the life of companies in the economy, beginning to gather private and small savings through capital market. So, corporate governance almost necessary. New political economy of India driven by markets and private enterprises. So, the corporate governance is must for this private enterprises. The role of corporate governance becomes immensely important. Need of assessing public fund is a main factor responsible for the Indian companies eagering to comply with Code of Corporate Governance. The new millennium, only companies take care of varied group of stakeholders would be able to survive and grow. So, the corporate governance is major important role in recent years. Next, we see about the fundamental principles of corporate governance. The corporate governance is to maximize long-term shareholders' value. So, the good governance should address all issues to the value addition of the organization. Now, we see about some of the main issues. First one is transparency. The corporate governance have to transparent to every shareholders that is accurate, adequate, and timely disclosure of relevant information to the stakeholders. Without transparency, they don't go for any upward progress. So, business head should release their transparent information to their shareholders. So, transparency and disclosure are the key pillars of corporate governance. Next one is accountability. Corporate governance has to be a top-down approach for the organization. Chairman, board of directors, and chief executive must fulfill their responsibility to make corporate governance a reality in Indian industry. In companies with good governance, accountability is not just bottom up but also follows the reserve order. Merit based management. A strong board of directors is necessary to lead and support merit based management. The board has to be an independent, strong, and a non partial body where the sole motive should be decision making through business products. Through corporate governance, much broader than corporate management, an effective and efficient administration of corporate sector is essential for meeting the desired objective. So, corporate governance ensure long-term strategic objectives and plans are established and the proper management structure is in the place to achieve those objectives. Corporate governance in India. In India, corporate governance has assumed significance and urgency mainly due to the changing profile of corporate ownership, preferential allotment of shares of promoters, increasing flow of foreign capital, and the dismantling of controls that provided protective cover to poorly managed corporates. Some of the main issues are given below. First one is role of board of directors. So an independent and effective board is essential for good corporate governance. So the overall responsibility of the board is to guide the management and oversee the operations of the company to subserve the interest of stakeholders. So the board is expected to ensure that the management complies with legal and ethical standards. So it have to guide the top management to meeting the corporate objectives. Next one is Audit Committee. The draft bill to amend the Companies Act in 1997 provided that all public limited companies with a paid up capital of 5 crores and above must establish audit committees consisting of independent non-executive directors. So the audit committee can improve the quality of financial reporting by reviewing the financial statements, creating a climate of discipline and control and reducing the opportunity for fraud. Next one is Shareholders Committee. The SEBI Code of Corporate Governance provides for constitution of Shareholders Committee under the chairmanship of the non-executive directors to ensure the grievances of shareholders are properly received and solved for the satisfaction of shareholders. So, in order to improve the quality of corporate governance, the Companies Bill 1997 enlarged the items to be transferred the board meeting provisions for constitution of audit committee and a director's responsibility statement in the director's report. In 1998, Confederation of Indian Industry CII appointed a committee on corporate governance under the chairmanship of Sri Rahul Bajaj. Corporate Governance under the Companies Act 2013. Disclosure of promoter holding. So every listed company have filed a disclosure prescribed form with the registrar regarding changes in the number of shares held by promoters and the top 10 shareholders of such company within 15 days of such change. So independent directors. Every listed company shall have at least one independent board of directors. No independent director shall hold office more than 2 consecutive terms of 5 years. Directors. Every prescribed company shall appoint at least one women director. The duties of director have been clearly defined. So every company shall have at least one director who has stayed in India for total period of not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. Supremacy of shareholders. Approval of shareholders is essential for a major issue such as managerial remuneration. So notice of board of directors, at least 7 days notice is required to call a board meeting. Auditors. The Act provides for rotation of auditors and audit firms in listed companies. The auditor shall not provide non-audit services as prescribed in this Act. Audit Committee. The Act contains detailed provisions concerning constitution of Audit Committee, Nomination Committee and Remuneration Committee. Prohibition of forward trading. The Act prohibits directors and key managerial personnel to make forward trading in the shares of the company. So, insider trading. No directors or key managerial personnel of the company shall enter into insider trading. Class action suits. The prescribed number of members depositors can file class action suits if they are not opinion the company's affairs are being managed, conducted in a manner interest of the company or its members. Next one is National Financial Reporting Authority. The central government may constitute this authority to recommend, monitor and enforce accounting and auditing and standards. E-governance. The central government may prescribe the manner in such a member may exercise his vote of electronic means. The notice of the board. It will to be the notice of the board is important. SEBI norms for corporate governance. SEBI has announced straightened corporate governance norms which will form part of the listed agreement. Some of these norms are as follows. A person cannot be an independent director in more than 7 companies and cannot accept stock options from them. Second one is a person cannot be an independent director in a company for more than 5 years terms. Directors nominated by the company's promoters cannot be classified as an independent director. Companies will have to disclose remuneration period of CEOs and executive directors, related party transactions and appointment and resignation of independent directors. There shall be a compensation committee headed by an independent director. The committee will formulate a compensation policy and a fixed remuneration of key managerial personnel. A person who is a whole-time director in a listed company can be one of the board of only 3 companies. A person who is a whole-time director in a listed company can be on the boards of only 3 companies. Companies will have an orderly succession plan for appointments to the board and senior management. So every listed company shall have a whistleblowers policy. So there will be at least one women director on the board. So minority shareholders are empowered to approve related party transactions. Thank you.